Hey guys, good to see you for door number 20 of our Crafter's Companion Advent Calendar. And as I start filming this, I've just realised it's the one and only day that I've not got a Christmas jumper on. I'm sure you can forgive me. I've still got all the decks and that up, but when it comes to this one, I've got my grey jumper on today. But it's all about the Advent Calendar. That's what you want to see. You want to see what we're going to be making. As I always say as well, and I'm going to keep on saying this, now that we're slowly getting to the end of it, I know it's sad, but thank you so much for all your incredible feedback, all your incredible comments. I do see every single one of them, and I love reading them and loving what you're thinking and what you're saying about each of the projects. Some of them you let me know how you're going to change it up, and then if you are posting them on social, thank you so much. It's lovely to see the tags. Once again, I am still a little bit behind in catching up when it comes to all the groups that you're posting them in, but I really do appreciate it. I appreciate all of the follows as well, or the subscribes when it comes to my Crafter's Companion YouTube channel, whether of course you simply just subscribe or whether you hit that bell notification. I appreciate it, as well as the thumbs up with every single video that I do. Now when it comes to, just now that we're on day 20, just to let you know, when we do get to door number 24, then we'll have that little bit of a break between door 24 and then the start of the year. So I will be away home in Scotland by that point. So we'll start again in the new year when it comes to tutorials, when it comes to Crafter's Companion products, old and new. So do know that although it will go quiet for that last end of December, right at the very beginning of January, because I'm coming straight back at the end of the year. I've got Hobby Maker in the UK on New Year's Eve. Then I'll be travelling back late on the 1st. I've got prep to do on the 2nd. I'm back on Hobby Maker on the 3rd. And then back on Crafters TV on the 4th. And then we'll get back full flow into the tutorials again. So don't worry if it goes quiet. There will be more and more coming as well. So let's dive in. Let's go into our advent calendar here and see what we're going to be making. Let me just pick up my Gemini plates as they've just fallen over, because we will need them. But let's go in. Let's get the advent calendar in here. Let's bring it in. Let's open up door number 20 and see what delights that we have got today. So if we go in, let's open it up. I've got myself in a little bit of a note here. Or a knot, should I say. Let's open it. Let's go in. Delve in to the delights of door number 14. So let's have it. 14. Why? Where's 14 come from, Craig? You're 6 out there. We're looking for door 20. There we go. We're down into here. Door number 20. Let's open. If we can get in here. There we go. Let's dive straight in. Let's open this one up. Please do remember, guys, I've had a couple of messages saying that maybe your stamp or your die or that has not been behind the door, although the guys have done really well of securing and sticking all the foil all the way around. When it comes to that, if you've not found it, when it comes to the last day, don't bin your advent calendar straight away. Decant it all, open it all up, and just have a look to see if any of the missing pieces have fallen down to the bottom. So do keep that one in mind and do that before you chuck out the packaging. But we've got our folder. We've got our beautiful, it's kind of our swirly vine embossing folder that we've got here. 2 3/4 by 2 3/4. And for this one, what we're going to do is we're going to bring in, now you can be using all your textured linen cardstock, etc, etc. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to go back to the all occasion brights that we've done here. So say it literally is all occasion bright. So the colours that I'm going to use, you will no doubt have, if you don't have this pad, you will have some of these colours. I'm then going to go into the everyday scenes 12 by 12, 8 by 8 pad that we've done. I need some white multi-purpose. I've got a 6 by 6 card blank. I'm going to use the Baby Grow from the Gemini Minis. I'm then going to go in now from door number 18. We're going to go in, we're going to use the balloon die as well as the bow. And then what I'm going to go, now you guys stateside may be familiar with this. I'm going to say nothing other than, please remember, I use items that have either been or may come. That's all that I'm saying. Now for this one, we're going to use some of these nesting dies. I'll tell you the size, so if you don't have anything like this, then you can have a look at the size of your nesting dies that you've already got at home. But that is what we're going to be using. So let's dive straight in and let's have a look at our paper. Now, when it comes to the paper, we're going to be using, not that one, not that one, that one, this one. We're going to be using that one. So let's set that to the side. We are then, when it comes to the block, we're going to be using that green there, because it works with the green in there. And then we're going to be using some pink as well. Now I want to use that deeper tone of pink there. So we're going to use that one. Let's bring in our guillotine here. So if I bring in the guillotine, and when it comes to our pattern paper, we're going to cut this to 5 by 5. So let's do 5 by 5. Then what we're going to do is we're going to bring in the pink. Now when it comes to the pink, I'm going to do 5 1/4 by 5 1/4. And then when it comes to the green, we're going to do 5 1/2 by 5 1/2. That is, of course, going to be our matting layer. What I'm also going to do just now, while we're here, let's bring in another bit of green. If I've still got another bit of green, because we'll do our insert as well. Now we've got one green left. Now, you know, when it comes to the past, inserts, if you're doing a matting layer insert, I always say, and this is just my opinion, you don't have to do this, but have a look at the darkest colour that you're using on the front of your card, and then that can be the matting layer for the inside of your card. So for instance, this one, green is my darkest tone, so that's going to be the matting layer for the inside. Visually, it just travels through with that dark tone from the front to the back. It will still work if you do it with pink, don't get me wrong. It'll still work if you use a few other colours. But just what I like to do is, if I'm doing a matting layer insert, then of course I like to then come along and use the darkest tone from the front. So therefore, the card blank is 6 by 6. So let's do a big matting layer insert. So 5 3/4 by 5 3/4. And then our white multi-purpose, let's do 5 1/2 by 5 1/2. So that will then go inside our card that we've got there. So now that we've got those bits done, let's move my guillotine out the way for now. Let's bring in, so there's my card front, set that there. That's my white. Let's just separate these and separate these. What I'm going to do is, let's bring in my paper trimmer. If I can find it, what have I done with it? Then let's go in. What have I done with my paper trimmer? Do you know something? See, earlier on, I went downstairs to get a drink and I heard an almighty bang coming from up here. And could I work out where that bang come from? I've just noticed there, all my glitter pots had all fallen over. So I've just found out what the bang was. At least that's all that it was. Here we go. There's my guillotine. So let's bring in our guillotine, and what we're going to do is we're going to gut the inside of the pink. So just the pink that we're going to gut here. So let's bring this in, and what I'm going to do is I'm just going to go to the, where will I go to? So essentially what I want to do is I want to have enough cardstock, and in actual fact I don't even really need to gut it as such. Let's bring in the scallop die. So I'm going to come in, if you have these dies here, I'm going to use the largest of the scallop die. Now this is 3 inch by 3 inch. So if you don't have these, maybe coming soon, that's all that I'm saying. But if you don't have these, then the largest die that I'm using is 3x3. So the only reason I was going to gut my cardstock a moment ago was so then I could die cut straight in. But of course we can then just die cut straight into that base layer. So I'm going to tape that down. Let's bring in our cutting plate. Remember, going by what Debbie always tells us, Robinson always tells us, try when it comes to the simplistic shape dies, make sure, give it a try without the magnetic shim, because your simplistic ones will more than likely cut without the actual magnetic shim. That's what we're doing here, reduces the pressure, prolongs your plates even longer. So let's bring this back in now. Let's pop that out. You can see that's die cut like a dream without the magnetic shim. So there is now one of my layers that we can use just shortly. That won't be seen underneath. Now I don't want to lose too much structure, so therefore I'm not going to gut this base layer. You might want to if you want to. I'm not going to, because that will go there, and then essentially these will go over the top just shortly. So now that we've got that one, what we're going to do is let's bring in our white multi-purpose. Let's bring in our 2 balloon dies. Let's chop that up just a little bit more. So let's bring in our 2 balloon dies there and there. Then what we're also going to do is if I bring these circle dies in again, I'm then going to go with the next one down. So if I bring the next one down, let's bring in our white card and let's tape that in. We are, what we've done with my tape, bring in my tape, tape that down, and let's do what cutting we can all do at once. Let's bring in that bow die. That can then go onto here. Now all of these I am pretty sure will cut without the magnetic shim. So that can go there. I'm then going to bring in the baby grow. And the baby grow we're going to do in pink and in green. So let's do our green first. Like that. And tape that one down. So let's bring these ones in. So base plate, frosted shim, and then my cutting plate. I'm going to run that one through. So the only difference today is I have not got my camera facing the Gemini. And I've just noticed I've got a big glare coming from the lights behind me today, which is a little bit unusual. Anyway, you can still see what I'm doing. It's not distracting from the overhead. So we've got our circle, which can go there. We've got 1 balloon. We've got 2 balloons. Now we're going to do drop shadows. Let's bring in some pink card. And that can go there. We're going to do another bow in green, like there. Take out our little baby grow. Now I don't need that green star for this, but you might want to keep it for something else. So now I don't need that, but I do want a baby grow in pink as well. And I want to keep the pink star that's a way to come out once we've cut. So let's run that one through. So let's run this one through. And then while we're running it through, we'll go face on. Now this is one kind of, girly theme with having the pink with the baby grow. But then you could substitute the pink, of course, for a blue. Then that's going to be, of course, great for a boy. You might want to change the pattern paper. The blue won't necessarily go with the pink and the green pattern paper. But you can have a play with the colour layout. Or, of course, you can then come along. If you're not sure the sex of the baby, then you can always do it with yellows or creams. So there's that one. Now that slipped ever so slightly, so it's not quite cut, but that's fine. I've still got that edge there that can follow around, and it's a drop shadow, so it won't be seen, like so. There's that one. So don't need that. I don't need any more of the balloons. That's the only two bows that I need, so I can take that out the way. And then let's pop that out. So I do want that pink star, so let's put that there. But what I also want is one more pink star. So let's pop that out into there. And then I'm just going to use that little bit of scrap that I've got here, because I don't need a full baby grow, making sure that that is covering the whole of that star. That then we can then line up and then run that one through. So that's going to go through. Now this could be on the top of a box if you want it to be. It could be a nice front-end envelope if you want it to be. It could be Twisted Diesel card, on a stepper card, all the... You know what I'm like? I do like my straight edge cards, but you can easily add this into something like a Twisted Diesel or easel or anything like that. So let's pop out that little pink star that we've got there. And that is pretty much all of my layers. So I'm going to move all that out the way. I'm going to take a drink. And I do need my plates because we need to do the embossing, of course. So base plate. So we're going to come in with our circle die. So let's come in with our circle die that we've got here. And then what I'm going to do is if I bring in the folder that you can see. Now, of course, you can pop it anywhere that you want. I'm just going to pop that kind of in the middle. So I've got that in the middle. So your card doesn't always have to be square. It could be whatever size that you want. I'm going to go onto my cutting plate. I'm going to add in my metal shim. And then I'm going to add in my top plate here. As we tend to say quite a lot, when it comes to your 2D embossing folder, which is what it is, it's your two cutting plates. I do like to add in my metal shim just to give that emboss just that little bit of enhancement, just make it stand out that teeny tiny little bit more. And then lift that up. And then we've got that gorgeous emboss, that foliage swirl emboss within that circle. We're going to then bring in one of the die cut balloons. So within this one, I need to go back that way. And you can, again, pop it wherever you want. So wherever you want to go, when it comes to the embossed detail, you can cherry pick a section if you want, or just quite simply pop that straight in. Base, metal, top plate. That can go through Gemini. And with these, if you're using your junior, then junior, or you could be using your junior, but if you're using your mini, you just need, of course, there we go, you just need your embossing mat. Let's bring that in here. Shim, purple shim, that's what I was trying to say there. So there's one balloon with the embossed detail. Now I'm not going over these with any ink or anything like that. You can do your ink. You can then of course do the gilding waxes if you wanted to. You could do letterpress technique. But I'm keeping that crisp, clean white, which is going to be against the pink and the red. Pink and the green. Green and red. Totally different colours. Totally different grade. So then, if we take that one out, we've got our smaller balloons. Remember, the balloon and the bow were from door number 18 of our advent calendar. So now that we've got all of these components ready to go, let's do our mats and our layers. So let's start off with the inside. So the card blank, remember guys, is 6 by 6. So if you're using your all-purpose glue, maybe you want to use your tacky glue, maybe you're using your tape runner, whatever you prefer. For those that are new either to the videos or new to me, because I know I've got a few of you that start to dot on and have a watch that are new to us at Crafters Companion. You've heard of Crafters Companion, but you're maybe new to us as a team. Then my choice of adhesive when I've got time is my double-sided adhesive tissue tape. Always my go-to. So let's mat and layer that onto my green. A little mark, so let's take that off. And I tend to also do top fold or 10 fold cards. I just like the look of the 10 fold cards and all that is. So your card would traditionally open to the left, but then when it comes to the 10 fold, it just opens to the top. It also means if you've got weight to the front of your card, it adds that balance, structure and stability. So let's take that one and press. So now we've got that one. Let's bring in these layers here and let's add our tape all the way round. So if we go section by section, and I always put a little bit in the middle as extra. I'm not going to take that off just yet because of course then I've got that hollow aperture, so therefore if I take it off and assemble it, I'm just going to stick to my glass mat, which I'll explain in a moment. Let's work that around. And then last but by no means least, with this layer, I'm going to work our way around with these ones. And you can also come along and personalise this. I'm not going to, but of course you can do. So let's bring these in. So taking off the edges here, I'm not going to take that middle one just yet, because if I was to do that, what's then going to happen? If I take that middle layer off just now, what's going to happen is I would stick to my glass mat. So that's what I was meaning. So therefore, line that up. Then I can take that middle one off as well. You could make this larger. You know, you could go 7 by 7, 8 by 8, add in a few other layers, add some more balloons, die cuts, or you would get away with going smaller. You would get 5 by 5, and you would at a push get 4 by 4 if you compressed the end result that you'll see just shortly. So that's going to go into there, leaving a big white border all the way around, which I always like. You don't have to do it. I like to leave that border. Set that to the side. We're then going to come along with all of these bits. Now, because these have got all the embossed detail, I'm going to use my tacky glue. I'm going to use my tacky glue and work all the way round. Just means it gets into those even layers. Now this is where you can also use your all-purpose. All-purpose glue is good for your non-coated cardstock. Your tacky glue is good for your coated cardstock. However, you know, many of us will also use our tacky glue, our white glue, for lots and lots of uses, because it is a good one for lots of uses. So it gives me that little bit of wiggle time within the middle that you can see there. We've got that beautiful framework. Let's bring these in. So we're going to go in with our tacky glue again and do a drop shadow. I'm going to come down, hold, pinch, and then lift it up. Move. Don't worry too much about the base, because you're not going to see it. It's going to be covered with a bow. Let's bring in our next one and add that on. that, we're going to come down once again, press that in, manoeuvre that. So I just like a little couple of mil peeping out from the side. And there's our two balloons. We're going to go in with the baby grow. And we're going to go with the pink onto the front. So pink onto the green. Drop shadow, of course. So that can go down into there. Lift that up. So we've then got our drop shadow. So we've got all these layers here. I've got my two stars. I've got my two bows that we've got. And then we've got our matting layer inside. So for these ones, let's bring in, where's my other drink? Let's bring in my foam pads. So these ones are 3mm foam pads in depth. So I've got that one there. Let's pop foam pad onto there. Let's need to chop that slightly. Let's pop that onto there. And then just so I don't waste that little bit there, I could use my smaller foam pads, however. I'm just going to snip that down into there, snip that down into there, and then we can then start to assemble. So let's set them out the way, move them out the way, let's bring in our circle, and I'm going to get as close to the centre as possible. Maybe just over a little bit. Now with foam pads, as long as you don't press, you've got that bit of time. So now I'm going to press. Now there's no coming back from that if I've made a mistake. So lay down, but don't press straight away. You've got that little bit of manoeuvrability. The baby grow, we're going to pop into there. Line that up. Press that in. I'm going to go in with the largest of the bow. That we're going to come into about there. Bring in the smallest one. That is then going to come down to about there. Let's bring in our tacky glue. So I'm going to go into the back of the bow. And then I'm going to pop that down into there. Let's move that down. Press that in, just to let that grab. I'm going to put another little dot of my tacky glue. Let's bring up my pickup pencil with that star. That can go there. And then once again, let's go in on the back of the bow. And that can go there. Let's press that in. So no gems or pearls, anything like that. You can do. Of course you can do. Let's press that in there. Let's bring in our star. Press that in. And in actual fact, do you know what I am going to do? Let's take, I know we've got our silver glitter glue, but if you've got the Lavender Dreams glitter glue, instead of using gems or pearls, what I'm going to do is just do dot, dot, dot. So it's going to be subtle. Dot, dot, dot. So it's going to be subtle in actual fact, you can hardly see it there. But the point is, you're going to get that, once it's dry, you're going to get that light glisten, and you're going to get that tactile feel as well. So we've got our card that you can see here. 6x6 card, where we've used our pattern paper and we've used our card block. Then we've used our balloon die and the bow die from door number 18. We've used a baby grow from the Gemini Minis. Then we've used some circular dies. Now the largest scallop die was 3" by 3". Come down a layer when it comes to a white straight edge die, and then we've embossed that with the folder that's come from, of course, door number 20. And then the actual glitter glue was from the Lavender Dream, or it's called Lavender Dreams, layered up with a matte layer inside as well. Ready to stamp, ready to write, ready to put in a printed insert, whatever you like. And then there we go. So if I bring that back in, you can see here, we've got our 6x6 card, baby card. You can come along and personalise it, add it's a girl, or if you're doing it in boy colours, it could be it's a boy. You can then go around the embossed detail with your inks. You can then do your letterpress, you can do your waxes, you can do all of those additional things as well. A nice, well, a few layers to it, a few little techniques within that one there, but for you to then combine together, do it as I've done, or you can go rogue and just well, do that, go rogue and add your own take to it. But that is it. That is that one. That project done now from, of course, our 2023 Crafters Companion Advent Calendar. Thank you so much for tuning in and watching me here when it comes to my Crafters Companion YouTube channel. I will see you tomorrow, where we're going to be opening and creating something when it comes to door number 21. Right, have a lovely rest of the day or evening or week or month, whatever it is, wherever you are, whenever you're watching this. And we'll see you tomorrow for door number 21. See you later. Bye.